On the farm this week, I'm taking a big gamble by cutting over 1,000 stems and attempting to sell them all at a local market. Join me as I cut and prepare 50 bouquets, way more than I've ever taken to a market. Can I sell them all, or will they just end up on the compost pile? Preparations for this Sunday market started on Wednesday of the same week. I had a goal in mind that I wanted to make £1,000 at this market, so to get there I decided to make 50 £20 bouquets. I run this business on my own, so I really need to be as efficient as possible when it comes to taking on big tasks like preparing for this market. So firstly, I cut and prepared all of the craft and the tissue paper ready for wrapping. I arranged the tissue and craft paper in layers so that I could easily wrap one bouquet after another without having to faff around with the paper. A quick tidy up of the workshop and my workshop was ready to rock and roll. I've just done a mock-up of a bunch of flowers, and it's basically because I wanted to find out whether I was going to be able to use these marigolds, because I've got a lot of them, but I find yellow really difficult to work with and I don't always like the way that it looks. So I thought my best bet was to put it with pink. I have been searching online for some inspiration, and pink and yellow was the best combo that I could see in terms of using the yellow up. So I've kind of used the flowers that I wouldn't quite pick for a bouquet here. So the zinnias are looking a bit worse for wear, but you can kind of get the feel for how the market bouquets are going to look, and I'm going to sell those for £20. And I'm just using a single sheet of tissue paper and a single sheet of craft paper. I haven't even tied string around the stems. I'm literally making the bouquets, putting them down on the paper and wrapping it, and then adding a blue and grey sticker, and then I will be adding some of my care cards to go along with those too. So I'm hoping to make 50 of these at the market on Sunday, so fingers crossed. The big pick started on Friday evening, and the first cut of over 1,000 was made among the dahlias. I've got some really nice varieties in the field this year, and by far my favourite is Hamari Rose. It's a beautiful dusky pink colour that goes well with almost anything. Dahlias, sunflowers and marigolds were going to be my main focal flowers, while sedum autumn joy was going to be my main structural filler. Other fillers I picked for these bouquets included limonium, statice and achillea. After the dahlias and the fillers were picked, I moved into the new field to pick the rest of the flowers, and I was pleasantly surprised when Rob joined me to help me pick flowers that evening. We got the music going and we got into a good rhythm, and we managed to pick the flowers really quickly. From the new field, I picked phlox, zinnias, helichrysum, chickpea foliage, marigolds, sunflowers, grasses and scabious. Big day today. I've got lots of bouquets to make today, and I've just spent the morning prepping for it. So I've given the workshop a tidy up so there isn't stuff in my way. And I've been going through the list of all of the flowers that I picked last night. I picked about 1,000 stems, about 200 dahlias, plus so I picked about 164 here on the farm, and then I bought in a bucket full, which is 40-ish, from my friend Hattie, who is a flower farmer. And then I've got various things like helichrysum, zinnias, cosmos, statice, grasses, etc, etc. So I tried to make sense of that this morning by coming up with some bouquet formulas so that I can just put those things out on the table for a set number of bouquets and just go across the table, pick up the certain number of stems from each pile, and then hopefully put a nice bouquet together. It sounds good in theory, but I know that when it comes to it, I'm going to be a bit picky about how the way that the bouquets look, and that is what takes so much time when I'm making bouquets in general. So I kind of probably need to reduce how picky I am about how the bouquets look. Obviously I still want them to look nice, but I think probably a lot of the time I am kind of faffing over it for not much gain, and the bouquets probably don't look that much different if I've spent an extra 5 minutes faffing or not. So first of all, I'm looking to make 16 bouquets which have 3 dahlias, 3 marigolds, 4 zinnias, 3 grasses, 3 sedum and 3 scabious, 3 of the blue scabious. And I'm hoping that those bouquets are going to be like nice bright colourful ones, because the scabious is blue, the marigolds are bright yellow obviously. So I need to get out onto the desk 50-ish dahlias, 50-ish marigolds, 64 zinnias, 48 grasses, 48 sedum, 48 scabious. So I'm going to lay those out on the table and then pick them off one by one and hopefully put a nice colourful bouquet together. So I'm going to try and work in batches today and get those batches done and dusted, and hopefully it's not going to take too long to get them done. I'm not sure how much time to allocate to this because it could take me ages, or I could get it done before lunchtime, so we'll see. Then I've also got the posts that I've postcreted into the metal buckets. I was actually going to do an archway with the 2 upright posts and then a crossbar, but I've decided that I'm going to do like a broken arch, which is just the 2 uprights, and then hint towards, like with the foliage that I'm using, an archway going across so that it kind of looks like an archway to the eye. I want this to do something a bit more modern than the standard archway with the flowers along the top. So I've got loads of Ami that's kind of half, it's kind of dying. I wouldn't put it in a bouquet, but I think it might look quite nice as like a very foamy looking foliage on those poles. So I'm going to do the bouquets and then faff around with that later, and then see how that looks, and then I can take it across to the market tomorrow. So fingers crossed, hopefully today's going to be a good one. So I've been going a while now and I've done 16 bouquets, and I'm just set up to do another 20, and the formula for these, or the ones that I've just made, were very bright. They had yellows, pink, orange, purple, those kind of colours, and they're very bright and look great, I think. And the formula for these ones is more whimsical, pink, purple. I've got Cosmos, I've got the Limonium latifolium, which is very airy. We've got the Megandine dahlias, which are the purple, pinky purple colour. Got Statis and Sedum as well, so hopefully these are going to look nice and romantic and pretty. So I'm going to get cracking with these. It's going to be a long day. It's just past lunchtime and I've got 33 bouquets made this morning, so I'm not doing too badly. I've got 17 more bouquets to make, and actually I'm not going to put pressure on myself to do all of the 17 bouquets because I think it's nice to be making some bouquets at the market. I think people like to see you doing something, and also it's quite boring standing there all day. watching people walk by, so if I've got something to keep me busy while I'm there, then that's good. So I'm going to carry on making for a little bit longer. Looking forward to having a hot bath tonight. My back is aching me a little bit, and yeah, it's going well. It is now 6:50 and I'm starving and quite tired. I've made 40 bouquets and I've picked a few more flowers because I didn't really have enough to make 10 more. And I'll probably try to make a few more of those in the morning. I have done the archways, so I'm happy-ish with those, so they're ready to take to the market tomorrow. There's just a few bits and bobs that I need to gather together, so in the morning I can pack the van up, make a few more bouquets, make sure I've got everything, and then head off to the market. See you in the morning. My bloody alarm didn't go off this morning, so I didn't get up as early as I wanted to. I set my alarm for 5 o'clock. I think it was because my phone did an update in the night that it didn't go off. But anyway, I woke up at 6:30 and I'm setting off at 8:30. So I've still got time, but I just wanted more time to potentially make some more bouquets this morning. But I think that I'm going to have enough. So let's start packing up and getting prepared to leave. Despite having done this market before, I'm feeling pretty confident that I was going to sell the bouquets. 50 did seem like a lot, and I started to question whether I'd brought too many to the market. At 10:30, the doors opened and the customers started flooding in. I had a really good position at the market, so I was pretty much the first stall to be seen on entry. I made my first sale at 39 minutes past, and after an hour and a half, I'd already sold half of the bouquets. At this point, I was thinking I should have brought more. After a while, I had just 8 bouquets left, but the footfall was slowing down and less people were coming over. I was back to thinking I was going to be taking flowers home with me. The market finished at 4 p.m, but at around 1 p.m, I had sold my very last bouquet, and I even sold the flowers I'd brought for the display. My mum and I headed off for a celebratory beer in the sun. Cheers to a successful sellout day and reaching the goals I'd set for myself.